SABC News, independent and impartial.
From an African perspective.
Thank you, Nosile. Will instabilities end among African countries, or are regional groups such as the AU, SADC and ECOWAS doing enough to mitigate or end economic devastation? Well, our Zambia correspondent Arthur Scopo tracked some of the conflicts and peace meetings which were held in Africa to try and find solutions to the challenges faced by the continent.
Year in, year out, leaders gather for meetings discussing peace and stability of individual, regional or collective countries. But are there major scores made? Boniface Chembe is a peace advocate from the Southern African Center for the Reconstructive Resolution of Disputes, SACOD, based in Lusaka, Zambia.
There is no doubt that when one country suffers from a peace deficit within the sub-region, all countries are affected owing to the transnational nature of these conflicts.
For instance, just few days ago, Southern African Development Community or SADC member countries gathered at Lilongwe, Malawi, for the extraordinary summit of the heads of state and government of SADC, discussing the report of the Organ Troika Summit, plus personnel contributing countries, PCCs, to Mozambique's instabilities in Cabo Delgado province. Leaders that attended that Cabo Delgado province instability matters came up with a communique which made a resolution was calling for peace and solutions to be found. Boniface Chembe speaks to that.
Notwithstanding the communique released at the end of the summit, we call upon President Hichilema and SADC leaders to focus on undertaking robust conflict prevention in neighboring countries, especially in Mozambique. This must ensure and encourage promotion of civil society organizations and stakeholders' dialogue on violent extremism, religious coexistence, and equitable distribution of resources.
And Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema, who was part of the meeting in Malawi, is agreeing that conflict in Mozambique has the potential to affect the entire continent.
We know that if we don't help Mozambique, we are basically not helping ourselves. Trouble anywhere is trouble everywhere.
Emanating from such intra and inter-country or regional instabilities, a Zambian musician, peace and human rights defender, Maiko Zulu, is challenging leaders to step up and find solutions, not just talking.
If there was enough resolve by African leaders, I don't think we would be seeing what is happening in DRC Congo. I don't think we would be seeing what is happening in Ethiopia or Sudan or Uganda itself. But it's because our leaders are comfortable to them when there is suffering in a minute corner of Africa. It doesn't bother them because they are secure, they are comfortable. For me, these summits really they don't really achieve much, if at all they achieve anything.
The dreadlocked Zambian artist, who usually sings about social and governance matters, further challenges regional and continental groupings to move in quickly and deal with matters before they escalate.
We do not have Pan-African leaders on the continent anymore. And that is the difference now and the Africa that you saw when the Kaundas, the Nyereres, the Kenyattas, were alive. These people are not biting the bullet. They do not want to face the matters as they are.
In one of Michael Zulu's latest songs, called Uganda is Bleeding, the courageous Zambian act is placing 100 degrees Celsius heat on leaders.
So it's a wake-up call, comrade, to our leaders, and my earnest appeal would be discuss things at an African level.
I'm happy when Africa bends. Tyrannical rulers and dictators terrorizing the masses at will. Uganda is bleeding again. Kayunga is bleeding again.
Meanwhile, Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, have active border disputes since 1959 in an area further north of Zambia that is claimed by both countries, and military from either sides have been deployed since the year 2020 because locals around the area have been clashing. The border dispute has seen Ambrose Lufuma, Zambia's defense minister, say talks are imminent as soon as possible, as they were halted by the spread of COVID-19. However, people around Kaputa, where the dispute is, Through their traditional leader, Senior Chief Puta, think talks are taking too long and fear for the West, hence petitioning Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema on the matter. And commentators are saying this is how conflicts and instabilities that have their consequences start. Michael Zulu is once again insisting that African leaders act before it is too late.
Uganda is bleeding again. Kayunga is bleeding
Reporting
again.
for the SABC's Channel Africa in Lusaka, Zambia, I am Arthur Davis, Scopo.
Kayunga is bleeding again.
South Africa's business hub, the Gauteng province, exited the fourth wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, that's according to the country's health minister, Joe Pasha. The minister says other provinces have reached their peaks and are now on a decline.